Blessed and prosperous day, of course. Of course. I'm glad to see you again. So everyone who I haven't spoken to in the last couple of days, hello, hello, hello. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. I just have a little quick video. Let me adjust my camera a little bit right there. Okay, so yeah, I have a little short video for you today. I actually don't have a video to insert for it because it's actually a really big topic, but it's actually pretty good or easy for me to explain, right? So, anyways, we're gonna talk about basically why your credit goes up and down, up and down, up and down. You'll see it change, especially if you're monitoring your credit, and largely it's like due to your credit cards. It's basically your credit card usage. If you have credit cards, if you don't have credit cards, you probably won't see too much of a fluctuation. But if you have credit cards and you're using your credit card, actively using your credit card, then you'll see that you're unless you're paying it off every month to a zero balance, then you'll see that it fluctuates. So with that being said, I'm sorry. Let's talk about it. So you're paying your bills on time. You have a credit card. Maybe you've had it for a while. You have a couple credit cards. You had them for a while. You're looking at your credit score because you're using it to try to build, and you may be building, of course, because like I said, you're paying your bills on time. That represents 35% of your score, so you're getting good marks there. You're using your credit cards. That's always good too. But like I said, the score is teeter-tottering. Credit utilization is the literally second largest factor of what makes up your score. So that's really you swiping. So if you're not one of those people who are paying it off to a zero balance every month, then you may see that your score is going to kind of move around when every time they report, right? So just remember this one thing. The higher the usage on your credit card, the lower your score. The lower your usage, the higher score. It works interchangeably. Does that mean you can't use your credit cards? No, it doesn't mean you can't use your credit cards. You should use your credit cards. However, before your statement date, not when your bill is due, not the due date, but your statement date. That means when that period of time where they're going to report to the credit bureaus, you need to get that balance down before then. Now, that does not mean max out the card and then try to pay it all down before the statement date. That's not what that means. What that does mean is because they record everything. So what it will do is it will keep you from having a decrease in score. I'm not saying that it won't. But I just don't really think that's the best way to treat your credit cards. If you have to use it, I do understand. But remember, guys, they don't give you credit cards because you need them. They give you credit cards because you just want them. They want you to just want them. They want you to be able to honestly pay for your bills with the money that you're making. And that credit is kind of like bonus on top. It's like the chip top, that's really so they don't want you to need it. If they feel like you need it, then they feel like, oh, they max this card out, and then I can just they may just go and not pay us. So you want to make sure that you are keeping your utilization down. Now, me personally, I tell people not to go over 10%. I know that's not a lot. But like I said, it's the credit game. You have to play the game, and you have to play by the rules of the game. And the rules of the game is to keep the utilization low. I know a lot of people preach 30%. Like I said, I don't preach 30%, especially if you're reestablishing credit. 30% is not really going to do you that much justice. You want to keep yours to maxed out at 10%, but around 2%. To me, in my opinion, is the ideal place for you to actually see a lot of upward movement in that credit score. And it's going to keep that utilization low. And what that 2% also does is, or up to 10%, what that also does is it keeps it to where you can actually afford your payments. Okay. It keeps your utilization low. So if you're having an issue where you're having to swipe, and then you're trying to pay your card off before the statement date so that you could try to still get low utilization, but then you're having to turn right back around and swipe that card again. You need to take a look at your expenses. Try to lower your expenses. Get on the phone with these people. Call these people up and call these companies up. Let them know, like, hey, I need to find a way out to lower this bill, because if I don't lower this bill, I'm going to have to get rid of you. Point blank, period. Now, I know you can't do that with your light bill and your rent, but If you call the right companies, they have programs available. I've seen programs even where you can get up to 35% off on your bill every month. So call these companies, especially if you are, well, shoot, if you are in that much trouble financially, then 9 times out of 10, you're probably in a lower income bracket anyway. Those programs out there are just for people such as yourself who are in a lower income bracket, who don't make maybe above the poverty level or poverty line. I believe it's at 30,000 now, but who don't cross that threshold. If you don't make $30,000 or $35,000, maybe somewhere in there. If you don't make around that much, you need to be calling these folks and you need to be saying, "Hey, I live below the poverty line. My income is very a lot lower than what it needs to be. Do you have anything that can help me so that I won't run up a high bill with you guys and then turn around and have to try to figure out a way to pay you guys?" They'll work with you. If it's a cable company or anything like that, phone companies, they work with you. Sometimes they have plans where they'll do deferments, and they'll like the finance companies with the car loans and things of that nature, they'll defer and they'll put it on the back end. It doesn't shorten your it does not shorten your the time of your loan. In fact, it actually will extend it about a month. But they still allow you to do it. I know some companies allow you to do that every 6 months. They'll allow it, so twice a year, that they give you so that you can be able to do some of those things. See anything else there I think about when it comes to that? Just lowering those expenses and start trying to pay more, pay what you can on your card. Like, you don't necessarily pay what you can on the card and maybe not use it that month. But like I said, keep the utilization low so that you can keep your payments that you have to make to your credit cards low, and you don't have to worry about that. And then your credit score will continue to go up as it should. Just making your payments on time before that statement date. I cannot express that enough. Before the state date. All right. All right. All right. All right. So that's all I have for you guys. Like I said, if you're scoring up and down and you have credit cards, make sure you're keeping that utilization low, especially for my people who are reestablishing credit. 10% or lower, 2%. It's not much. I'm telling you, do the calculations. It's really not that much. But that's the thing. They don't want you to need the card. They want you to be able to just use the card when you need to, or when you want to, rather. And then just say, "Oh, I get paid in 2 or 3 days. I'll just pay it off." That's what they're looking for. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Make sure you are liking this video, sharing this video out. Make sure you're leaving a comment in the comment box. Let me know that you are there and that you are watching. I definitely appreciate everything that you guys have done. And remember that you always have to apply that plan so that you can win. Peace out.